Guys, I'm fresh out the shower. This is going to be a very unedited video, unfiltered video, just kind of going straight to the motions because I'm getting ready for Orlando Collecticon this weekend. So if you're going to Collecticon Orlando, please come out to see me. Section 118. It's also posted in the Discord. It started today. So today is going to be the first day of Orlando Collecticon. Come see me Sunday, Saturday, whenever. If you didn't already hear about it in the Discord, please come out and see me. Anyways, this is going to be our Carrot deck profile. I totally forgot to actually do an intro for this video, and I'm trying to throw it together as I'm in the middle of packing, which is why my room's a mess and has been for the last 4 videos. For the last 4 days. So here is our leader. Activate main once per turn. If you have a character with a Minx type in play, rest up to one of your opponents, cost 5 or lower characters. We have this new carrot from EB02, which is going to be very a central idea to the deck profile, being a 2K counter, and it looks at the top 7 cards and searches out Zoe and plays a Zoe from your hand. So even if you don't find it, you still play it. And Zoe has a special effect that just says you may rest this stage if your leader is a Minx type, set up to one of your Dawn as active, being a very strong effect right there, basically meaning the carrot effect is free, so we get to tap down 1, play out Zoe, restand that Dawn, and now we get to tap down 3 for a Tashigi, Rosinante, Barto, or just swing in aggressively for 8 at our opponent. Our goal with Carrot is to lock down our opponent's board and really starve them out of resources and play the late game. The less resources, the better, and we want to just take life as aggressively as possible. We are a more lockdown, kind of control-oriented Bonnie deck profile in a streamlined way, just really focusing on the Minx typing, though, because there are strong things in this Minx package that, I mean, they just can't use. Bonnie can just not abuse a stage like Zoe, or use Ina or Rashi to lock down the board, or search their carrots very effectively, or restand Dawn with characters like Milky. Because Zoe also has a secondary effect that says end of your turn, set up to one of your Minx type characters as active. So it really forces your opponent to swing you aggressively, and you get to play the late game. You'll see it in the decks in the games we play, because I think we did very, very well with Carrot. So anyways, to go through the deck profile very quickly, we're playing 3 of the 8-drop Uses Captain Kids. You know what this does at this point, because it's played in almost every green deck ever. We're playing 1 of Shishilium, which just says on play, tap 2 Dawn, set one of your Minx type Minx tribe type characters with a cost of 5 or less as active. So it just restands, you know, Carrot or Pedro, or I mean, you can restand a Wanda if you need to. So it can kind of just be a sneaky little card. That's why we play it as a 1-of, to just win a game, because we can restand a character for 4 Dawn. So if the math works, the math works. I really enjoy having this card as a 1-of. It's my little like tech fun option, but definitely not necessary, to be honest with you. If you find one card you'd rather play a little extra of, like an Inuarashi or something else as we go through. 4 of the 10-drop Doflamingo, which just says set up to one of your cost, or wow, that is not what Doflamingo does at all. Dyslexic much. A total of up to 3 of your opponent's rested characters or leaders do not become active during your next opponent's refresh phase. So this is going to be one of our stun characters, and with this, we're going to go into our other stun characters, but basically just locks down any 3 rested characters in the game or leaders, so it really takes off our opponent's aggression and puts a very large body on the board. Now we do have Ina or Rashi, which is very similar, that just says on play, if your leader has a Minx type, up to 2 of your opponent's cost 5 or lowers do not become active in the next refresh phase. So this locks down 2 characters, especially on a 5-Dawn curve. This is very strong, and we can use our leader effect to rest a 5 cost. So in an aggro meta, I find Carrot to be very strong, and I really enjoyed playing it in this current meta, and something I'll probably honestly build and bring to local soon. Then we have Carrot, which just freezes a 7 cost or lower character, being very strong because this is on play and when attacking. So when attacking, we can lock down our opponent's characters. A similar effect to Inuarashi, but it hits 7 cost and can be used over and over and over again. That's why we play 4 carrots and only 2 Inuarashi. But Inuarashi is very strong and comes up in a couple matchups, so definitely don't sleep on this card. We'll go back to where we were with the Don Quixote Rosinante, which is just a blocker. You know what this does at this point. 4 of the Hody Jones, 4 of the Rosinante, and 2 of the Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo just says once per turn, if a character is rested from its own effects, draw 1, trash 1. So it helps with filter in the deck, and you'll really be surprised how often we can use this thanks to Milky. Milky is a card we can restand up as active with Zoe, as Zoe restands a Dawn, but Milky does the same thing. You may rest this character if your leader has a Minx type, set up to one of your rested Dawn as active. So it's a very strong target for this Barto effect, meaning that if we have Barto on the board, we rest Milky, restand a Dawn, and then we get to draw 1, trash 1, and we get to restand 2 Dawn total if we have Zoe on the board. So it can make Barto into a 1-cost character, basically, by using Milky, which is already on the board, and then Zoe to restand the Dawn. It can make Rosinante free. It can make Shishilian free. I mean, there's so many options. Obviously, you have the Shishilian first, and then you tap the 2 Dawn. Then you can restand Dawn after, so you need to keep that in mind as you play Shishilian. We have Pedro, which I think is a really underrated blocker from OP08, but it can be played around very well, so this is something you have to keep in mind if you're playing against a removal heavy deck, but you can rest down one of their Dawn, kind of taking them off a curve in a way. So anyways, it's a blocker, and then choose one on KO, rest up to one of your opponent's Dawn, or KO one of your opponent's 6 cost or lower rested characters. So you have built-in removal on the block, so you block and then KO the character they swing in with, or KO a separate character that maybe froze down with Carrot, or whatever you really want to do with this, you can do it. Now, resting Dawn is very strong and will take people off curve. You'll see we do it once in the game because we see what our opponent searches and knows what they want to play. We rest down their Dawn, and it really helps. So Pedro, underrated, amazing blocker in the green card pool. Then we have Wanda, which is just a Minx type searcher. Look at the top 5 and grab a Minx type character. So Shishilian, Carrot, Inarashi, Pedro, Milky, and Zoe. So a ton of searchable options here with Wanda, so I really enjoy this. The only thing that we're missing is a searchable top end target, and that's something I think we need to work on in the future, as Bandai needs to, not we need to. But I think that's the one thing the Minx pirates are missing, or the Minx type characters are missing, because they're not pirates per se. But anyways, I think that's the one thing I would love to have, is a searchable Minx type character that is a 7 cost or above to really have a strong effect, similar to maybe a Don Quixote do Flamingo. Maybe it holds down Dawn instead of characters, or something like this. So just some ideas I'm spitballing here, but you never really know. Then we have 2 of the TCG. This just helps with removal based decks, and so I really enjoy having TCG in any green deck ever. It just says if a green character other than TCG would be removed, instead you may rest this character, meaning we can just rest this character instead. So it saves any of our characters from being destroyed. It really helps with Eustace Captain Kidd, similar to Rosinante. This helps with any removal effect though. Obviously Rosinante helps with KO. This helps with bottom decking, I mean anything at all, bouncing, like any effect that would bottom deck, remove a character, whatever, it's TCG. It's TCG time, baby. So we love having this card in the deck as an amazing 2K counter, which we are running 2, 4, 10 total 2K counters, and I don't think that's crazy with a deck like this, and you'll see why, because of how aggressive we do take life and how much draw power we have with cards like You Can Be My Samurai. You Can Be My Samurai being very strong because we can, rest down Wanda, rest down Carrot that we play out early, restand one of them with Zoe to keep our Minx character as active, or our effect, keeping a Minx type on the board basically lets us rest any 5 cost ever during the whole game. So if we can just continue to use Zoe, restanding the Milky, getting 2 Dawn for free, we can kind of abuse You Can Be My Samurai. So we can tap 1, rest both of the characters, and then restand 1 with Zoe, and then at the end of the turn restand the Milky so we can use the 1 Dawn later. Or, it forces our opponent to play some kind of removal for Milky, or we're just going to get so much value over the game. Now, You Can Be My Samurai obviously means you can't rest down the Milky and get her effect, but it's still a great option to draw cards, and depends on the situation. Or if maybe you have a different character you want to rest down, like you can rest down a Carrot and a Wanda, use your Milky to get the 1 Dawn back. Like, there's so many options, and you'll see the strength and the draw power with You Can Be My Samurai. I think this is a must play 4 of in the deck. This card is just so freaking good. Alright, as I said, this was the deck profile. It was quickly thrown together. You can't see what my suitcase is down here. I'm about to go to my first treasure cup ever and go play Vegapunk. I'm going to have a video on that. You can see my stands already ready back here. So we got a lot going on. Orlando Collecticon, time to play the deck profile. Like, subscribe, join the One Piece family, the Discord down below, and let's get into the games. Again, a lot less editing today. I apologize. Alright, we're going to go game number 1 here against Blue-Black Usopp. This is an interesting hand. I don't think we can keep that. It would have been nice to keep, but wouldn't have made sense to. So we're going to leave the top 5 cards, grab a Minx Pirates type character, or Minx Pirates, or just Minx type, sorry. My goodness, okay. I think we're going to put 10, we're going to put Hody at the, no, we're going to put 10 drop at the top. And pass. Very simple. We do have the Carrot to hopefully play out Zoe. That is our goal here. We'll be able to rest down any of our opponent's characters and swing into them. We're basically just here to take our opponent's board all game long. We're going to play down that Carrot, look for Zoe, and not find it. But we will know the bottom 7 cards of our deck. So we'll choose no characters to add, or no cards to add at all. And honestly, I don't know what I'd really want to change. Maybe put this closer to the top, this closer to the bottom, 10 drop closer to the top. I think that's kind of how I would want it, because we're doing the 3 2Ks right at the bottom of our life, and we have not seen one in hand. That's okay, though. Kind of does suck when you don't find it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We will You Can Be My Samurai here, so I guess we could have swung in for 6 instead. One of my cats is playing behind me. And then we're just going to rest down our 2 characters, draw 2 cards, play down another Wanda. Finally finding a Zoe here. and it's not even a Minx type card, so you can't even grab it. We're gonna grab the carrot, I guess, then, and leave it with the Hody at the top and pass. So we've passed up on 2 Hodys, 2 Doflamingos, but that was in the bottom like 11 cards total now, so pretty interesting stuff. I really like finding the stage early. We probably have one in life, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, first life, you know, kind of magic. I would like that. Our opponent can't have pseudo rush into any of our characters that are sideways, which does kind of suck for this Usopp build. Because they can use Cavendish, and Cavendish will draw them 2 cards and trash 1 card. They could even Zoro rest the stage, pop the Wanda, swing into the carrot, and then swing into the Wanda, and really clear the board up, which would be a little bad. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but it would be a little annoying. Now, going into 6 Dawn here, I think we're just going to rest their character, swing into the character, try to force a card out. If they let it go, that's fine with me. That's kind of the goal here. If not, we just play down the carrot. We have a very strong leader effect that just rests down any 5-cost flow. We've already been over the leader effect. You know what we do. You know what we do. And I'm feeling good about it. I love this carrot. It's going to help freeze down the Frankie, force a card out of our opponent's hand, and show them, hey, you should have taken that first life. I think that's going to be the easiest thing our opponent's going to learn right here. Because now if this gets KO, they don't get to play a 3-cost or lower from the trash. But if they counter, their Frankie just gets frozen down over and over and over again. So I'm kind of happy about how the situation's going. They do counter out aggressively. We're going to freeze down the Frankie and pass here. And now it's our opponent's turn. Now, we haven't found a Milky. We have not found a Zoe or anything of the sorts, but we do have some strong options in hand. We have Hody Jones, 10-drop Doflamingo. We have an Inuarashi, so we can freeze down another character if they play down a 4-cost character. They could go One-Legged Soldier, and they could have gone Zoro and then pop the carrot, but then we would just Inuarashi, and that would have made us safe because we would have just froze down both characters. Now, it would only be for on play, so not when attacking, but I think we'd be okay. We also have Hody Jones. If we want to, you know, kind of go for controlling the board or moving the board, doing whatever we want, taking a life, adding more cards to hand. But we haven't had to take a life yet. We have not. We've been very, very safe here so far. So they're just going to swing 9 at us. We're going to take, we find our Milky. That's going to give us an active Dawn every single turn until our opponent runs into it themselves. So I don't mind it at this point. I don't know how much I need it. We do have Hody. Ooh. We're just going to go 5 at face. Yeah, just 5 at face. Boom. I think we're gonna go Milk, and we don't even need an Inuarashi. That's the only issue. Okay, no trigger, hopefully. 6 at face. Freeze down Frankie. They left 2 Dawn active, which is so weird. I don't know if they were like expecting us to counter or something. Like, I don't know. Now we could go like Barto and then Milky, restand Dawn, have 4 Dawn. We could go Barto, Milky, draw 1, trash 1. I think I'm just gonna go Hody Jones though. Like, there's no reason not to at this point. We've already started putting on a lot of aggression. This is going to force some cards out of our opponent's hand. They haven't really had a situation where they've been able to filter strongly, and so I don't think putting on the pedal to the metal is bad at this point. We already have them down to 1 life, and we have a strong board. We do have a good amount of counter as well, and an 8-drop kid, which 8-drop kid is very important in this deck profile as always. Now, Zoe would be amazing to restand some Dawn. Milky would have been nice to have down a little earlier in the game to also be restanding Dawn at this point. So getting 2 Dawn back after playing out Kid would give us 3 total Dawn. We get to tap, you know, 3 for Barto or 2 for Rosinante, put 1 Dawn on Kid, go through that. But our opponent just gives up because, I mean, they haven't found a Rebecca. They haven't filtered through the deck. They could have Rebecca, but that wouldn't find a Rebecca. Even if they did find a Rebecca, which they would have, and then it would have gone to trash because Rebecca cannot grab Rebecca. They didn't have any cost-lowering type characters. They could go with the Luffy, but that only, you know, only does so much. They could have just played out Kyros, bounced the carrot, swung 9. They could have swung 10 into the Hody Jones, but then we just counter out. So, hey, GG's for the first match. We destroyed a blue-black Usopp right there. Not played against, we destroyed blue-black Usopp. And now we're going to be playing on purple Luffy. We're going to always take first away from purple Luffy. And we're going to mulligan that hand. I like the hand, but I don't love the hand. But I like having Zoe. We're going to pass now and then possibly see how this goes. I mean, we could technically, if we top deck the carrot right here, we don't top deck the carrot. We get Zoe, though. We'll take Zoe. We will be going in for 5 at our opponent here, and then we're going to play out Zoe, restand a Dawn, and then play out the Wanda to search the top of the deck, grabbing a Minx type character. So Zoe, rest it, restand a Dawn, go Wanda, look at the top of the deck, and then grab we already have 2 2K counters, so I think we just go with a carrot, and put Doflamingo to the top, put Rosinante below that. We don't really need our Minx stuff. We play it because it has some strength to it, but we don't need it per se. We will be able to restand our carrots over and over and over again. Whatever they play here, we will freeze down with the carrot, and it's going to be an Onami. So I don't think our opponent really thought about what we're about to do to them. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Because now we can just rest down Onami very easily. We're going to swing in for 2 at Onami. We'll be able to restand the Wanda. If they do counter out, we'll just totally ignore the character. I mean, honestly. They do counter out. Okay, well, we're not actually going to just ignore it. We're going to freeze it down, restand a Dawn, and then go... I think I'm just going to go 6 in the face here, honestly, because this is frozen down, so it's not really a worry for me. It's going to force more cards out of hand. That's just not going to do anything. We get to restand the Wanda anyways, and then go from there. So, I mean, our goal here is to get a very large hand size and just remove all of our opponents', you know, kind of life total, their hand, their bodies. Like, that's what Carrot does. And I don't know if we'll do it well against a deck like this, but I'm hoping we do. Our opponent has 3 additional Dawn. They could swing in very aggressively here. They're going to swing in for 7 at us. We're going to take very easily. No reason to counter out here. We're going to take, get the Pedro. Pedro's going to be strong for later on, possibly. We're going to go ahead and rest down the Kid. We're going to swing 2 into Onami. And we're just going to continue putting on some aggression here. We're going to swing in for, we could go 7, tap out 5. So we could go 7, 7. Yeah. We're going to start with the 7 with the Carrot. Hold down that Eustace Captain Kid. He's not going to do anything for our opponent now. And our opponent's going to be going into 10 Dawn. We're going to try to force this Gum Gum Giant out of them now. So what we're going to do is Carrot again. We could just Pedro here, I mean, honestly. We could Pedro, we could Rosinante. Not against a Pedro, actually. I know I'm kind of like throwing you guys for a loop here. Then we're just going to go 8 in the face. And actually, we could Milk just for later on. We want to restand more Dawn. Rest it down, restand a Dawn, and then go 7. Do we like that more? I don't really know. But hey, it's just a theory. A game theory. We're going to go and get that Gum Gum Giant out of our opponent, forcing them down to 8 Dawn total instead of 10, so they will have to take a life if they want to get into a 9-cost character, which they cannot do because we're putting on a lot of aggression while ignoring the board. And then I think we're just going to restand Carrot. I don't think we care if we lose Milky or Wanda here. The Milky was more just a pseudo body to have that would take on an attack if they choose to attack us. And yeah, we get to totally ignore the board again because we're just going to rest down the Sangoro. Swing 6, go Carrot, you know, continue the aggression, the escapade. They're going to have 2 active Dawn here. Thanks to the use of Captain Kid with the Dawn -1, they get an active Dawn instead. They go 5 into this. We're going to let that go. We could even Hody Jones here, which would be good, but I don't think it's time to close out the game just yet. We're going to rest down our opponent's character. We're going to tap 5, so we have 4. Well, we're actually going to have 5 because we're going to restand the 1. So we can just go 7s across the board. Wow, if we would have gone in with Hody Jones, I think we would have won based off 4K counter. Yeah, they only have 4K, so we would have had to have only hit them a couple times. But they just completely lost the game. They couldn't, we were a little too aggressive for them to continue countering out. We had 2 Zos in life, because that's my probabilities. Hitting 2 Zos in life and 1 in our turning hand is kind of wild. What we were going to do there is just rest down the Sangoro, play down another Carrot, restand another Dawn, so then we'd have, what, 5 Dawn after that. And that's 5 Dawn. We can tap 2 for a Rosinante and then go 7 and 7 again into face. And then if our opponent swings in, you know, we can Pedro, pop a Sangoro, or freeze one of their Dawns. Then they can go 9, drop a 9 cost. We restand the Carrot. So we'd be safe there having 3 active characters, and then go in again with Hody Jones on the next turn, resting down 2 of their Dawn in case they had any of their Gum Gum Giants, which they were close to some, but they weren't going to have them. So on to the next game. Again, these people are going quick. I mean, Carrot might just be it. Carrot literally might just be it. And we go against Vegapunk. I like to take first in the Vegapunk matchup, or against the Vegapunk. I like this and I hate it. I like this and I hate it, guys. I think we got to mulligan that. That would be too greedy to keep that. I'll take 2 Wandas. It's not going to hurt, that's for sure. We can grab a Carrot, but we are putting 2 Hody Jones at the bottom. We're going to put all these at the top, just in case, because we are passing up on a lot of amazing options here. I would have loved to have had that Carrot. Don't get me wrong, guys. The Carrot was going to be so strong in this matchup, especially. Our opponent's going to play down a Lilith, search the top 5 cards of the deck. Lilith is actually better to play on your next turn because you have 3 and 1. So then you get to spit out a couple more bodies, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to rest down their Lilith and swing into it this next turn. We are going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go for Carrot first, though. I mean, yeah, Carrot. Oh my goodness. So 3 Hody Jones at the bottom. No Zos in sight. I think all you're seeing is, even if you look at the top 7 cards for one specific card, you just don't find them. We're just going to put all these at the top, because this is everything we need in the deck, and we just don't find it. We don't need 2 of these, I guess. We already have 2 Hodys a little higher up, so I guess that doesn't really matter. So I guess we're just going to choose no targets here and call it a day. What we're going to do is actually play out Milky, restand 1 Don, and then swing in for 6 at the Lilith. Just get 1 card out of hand, more than likely, from our opponent. So, best case scenario, I like having this Milky in case they, you know, forces their attack here into Milky. That's fine with me. I would love to have a Zoe stage, you know, to restand our Milky, but, you know, that's not, we don't get that. We don't get the Zoe stage. It's not how we play the game with Carrot, you know. It's just one of those improbabilities. You look at the top 7 games in a row, and you just never find one. Now, I know we're only on game like 3, and we started with it last turn, but when I did a deck profile on Carrot before EB02 came out and was making a speculatory deck, this is what happened all the time. All the time I had these issues. So, I would never be able to find Zoe. And now I'm scared to look at the top 5 cards of my deck with Wanda, because what if I don't find it then? They tap 4 for Edison. That's okay. I would love to find a Carrot by now, but we don't have one, and we can't play out Wanda and find a Carrot, so we need to draw one right now. Now, okay, so we do not find one. We're just going to go ahead and rest down their character and not do anything with it. We're going to swing in for 6 at Lilith. I want to just continue getting cards out of their hand, and then we're going to tap 4 for Pedro, and pass. Very simple. We're not getting any of our You Could Be My Samurais, none of our other stuff. Like, we are getting cooked. We are getting cooked by Vegapunk. And is cooking up. We are turning into an apple pie over here. I think you get the reference because of his head being an apple. I think you understand. Depending on what our opponent does, we can, you know, use Pedro to rest one of their Dawn if they choose to KO Pedro first. What they should do is actually do the opposite of whatever they're looking to do first, but it depends on what our opponent's going to do. We will take you. We find You Could Be My Samurai, so maybe we can draw into something. We could go ahead and cash in on this Pedro, remove a body off the board. We'll do it. KO rested 6 costs or lower. We could have rested one of their Dawn, but I like just removing a body off the board here. It's a little more guaranteed. Sometimes I will rest a Dawn, though, especially on a 10 Dawn turn if we have that character on the board. Now they play down Shaka. Shaka's going to be very strong. And what now? We've looked through 11 cards of our deck and not found one of our 4 Zoes, so we know they're really bunched up, and we're about to play down this Wanda and probably hit the Zoe. But that's just the theory. A game theory. They're going to have to Rayquaza into life, which is a little interesting in my opinion at this position in the game. Now we should find a Zoe. We do not find a Zoe. So we're going to tap 1 and find a Zoe. We still don't find a Zoe. So we're going to grab Inarashi. We're going to move this Hody Jones to the top because that's going to be our last Hody Jones of the game. We're going to rest down the 5 cost or lower character. We're going to swing in for 5 at our opponent's Lilith. And then we're going to Inarashi and freeze both their characters. Boom. You have no attacks on the board. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Mr. Vegapunk? I'm going to take one more card out of your hand, more than likely. Yep. And then we're going to Inarashi, freeze both of these characters, and pass. So, I mean, pretty simple stuff right there. Some people choose to play the 3 cost event that freezes down 7 cost and lower, but I kind of like Inarashi, just put a 5/6 on the board. It's really just a strong option instead, but you can always be playing the 3 cost event instead, which means we could have swung like 7 or played out a Milky or played out a Rosinante instead, but we wouldn't have a 6k body on the board, so I like that a little less, in my personal opinion. Now, Carrot can just rest down Vegapunk and then swing into Vegapunk and call it a day, so that's definitely what we're going to be doing. You can see we're taking all the resources from their hand very aggressively. Very, very aggressively. Like, as soon as I find a Hody Jones, it's over. It's Jover for our opponent. Now, they should play a body on the board, but if they do that, their board is probably, more than likely, possibly gone. So, ooh, Shaka. I do like Shaka here. So I think what we're going to do is rest down Vegapunk, swing 0 into Vegapunk. They should let this go if they block out. That's actually incorrect, fun fact, in this situation, in my personal opinion. Now, they didn't block out because we had 2 more characters to swing in, so we're kind of fine with it. We're going to play down Zoe, the stage. We're going to rest it to restand a Dawn, so we have 7 total Dawn. We're going to tap 4 for Pedro, 2 for Rosinante, so we're just going to swing 6 into Shaka. May get 1 card out of their hand, may not. Either way's kind of fine, honestly. Yep, so we don't get a card out of their hand because they just let it go, meaning this card does not have counter. Very good option, very good thing to know. And they don't want to give us, or they don't want to give us all the cards in their hand. So they give us 6 and a 1. All I'm saying is I don't need to play a Pedro right now, so I could just go 4 into Shaka. Or 6 into Shaka. I mean, I'll just remove it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to restand my Inarashi and then call it a day. So, like, you either clear up my little chumps, which I don't think is smart, or you swing my face, which I do think is smart. But at this point, I don't think it really matters. I think we're so ahead in the game. Tachiki's going to be nice just to put down on the board in case they have some kind of removal. We already have a Rosinante. They're going to swing 10 at us. We're going to go ahead and take that, because I'm not scared to take life aggressively. Now, we can just... Oh, we don't have a Pedro on the board. Never mind. I was going to say we can block out aggressively. Nope, we can't. So they're just being very, very heavy at us, apparently. And, yeah, now we just have some simple little maths to do, honestly. Play down the Shaka. We'll be able to rest down the Shaka here. And our goal is just to swing the board. 5, and then 6 into Shaka, so they don't get the Pythagoras effect. They wouldn't get it anyways, but I'd rather just get rid of the blocker. We're going to tap 8 here for our character. We're going to restand a Dawn. We're going to put 1 Dawn on Kid, rest it down. We're going to play out Tashigi over top of Carrot, and then Milky? Pass. And we're going to restand Inuarashi. So it's like, all you can attack is Kid. I have a blocker. I have a Tashigi, so even if you have removal, it doesn't do anything. If they have any removal in the trash, they don't. They have Dorishishi. That's actually a great top deck for our opponent. But we get to know everything that is actually in their hand, so, I mean, it's not as good as I'm sure they'd like. We have a great amount of counter. We can play out more blockers. We don't even need freaking Carrot in the deck. We don't need our 4 Hody Jones we saw in the deck either. So what is our opponent going to draw here with Dorishishi? Dorishishi. They grab a Monkey D. Luffy and an Egghead Stage. Now, the Egghead Stage is not a good grab here in all honesty. But hey, it is what it is, as they say. We're just going to be going to control the board as long as possible. Our opponent's already out of resources. And they're just going to swing in for 10 at Kid. And we're going to counter out, give them a 2K, 1K. Pretty simple stuff right there. We're going to be playing down Pedro. They're going to play down the Egghead Stage. And they're going to tap 1 to play out a Luffy. Luffy is going to pop itself, and we're just going to rest Tashigi because they did that incorrectly. And GG's. Hey, that's the end of the game. They did have 2 Rayquazars, though, so that would have been very strong, playing out the Vegapunk to then play out another card from the top 5 of their deck, which would have been Edison, it looks like. But they would have missed... Oh, no, it would have been Shaka. They would have had a Shaka. We would have, you know, gone for board more. But, yeah, we were going to KO Pythagoras, have them play Lilith, search the top 5, and then we were going to probably start swinging after we killed that character after, because we'd go, you know, 6, and 5, and then 9, and then play out Pedro, and then literally swing in with Tashigi maybe even at that point. Like, we were in a very good position. And it wouldn't be an EB02 video if we weren't playing against the best deck in EB02. We're going to keep this very, very, very spicy hand. It's actually not that spicy. It's not anything crazy, actually. I mean, we have Hody Jones. Pretty good stuff right there. Not necessary, though. Draw the Going Merry. Going Merry is going to be very good, very good, very good. We're going to grab a Carrot. We're going to put Doflamingo to the top. I don't think we're going to need to use just Kids, but maybe we will. And Bass. So we're going to be able to play Zoe for free, basically, from the Carrot, and then play out Zoe, and then go with Pedro after we restand a Dawn. So I like where this is going. We're going to take aggressively because that's what we do with this deck, as you know. And we have Zoe. So tap 1. We're not going to grab 1, but we're going to be able to stack the bottom of our deck, which is going to be very good. Because we're going to put this towards the top. I like the Rosinante towards the top, and I think that's kind of how I like it. There's not too much there that we're missing out on. Then we're going to play Zoe from our hand. We're going to restand a Dawn here, and we could either go... We're going to rest our character. Now we could swing 2 into the character, and then just play Pedro. Yeah, probably. Probably. We can save the You Can Be My Samurai for later. We're going to swing 5 at our opponent. We should have done that first before playing the Pedro. Yes, I know, comment section. Pass. Restand the Wanda. We're good. Alright, so comment section. I know what we should be doing and how we should properly be doing it. They play the Going Merry to filter the hand, draw 1 card, playing on Zoro to look at the top 5 cards, grabbing a Sanji Pudding, which they probably don't have in hand, or they would just play that on 5. They're going to swing 5 at us, and we're going to take, very simple, we get the Milky. Milky's a solid option, but not too much going on for us right now. We're going to be able to rest 2 characters to draw 2 cards. It's going to be our first option here, just so we can reactivate a Dawn to then rest down their Zoro. We're going to play down a Carrot here, so we're going to be able to play down Wanda as well. We don't have 2 Dawn to stand up, so what we could do is just go 6 into the Zoro, or we just go 6 in a face, totally ignoring everything we just talked about. So we're going to go 5 in a face first, just to see if our opponent does take here, which they probably will to build up a very large hand size. Now we're going to go 6 into face here, just to continue on some aggression, forcing a 2K out of hand, because our opponent should counter out at this point, and they choose not to. So now we played on Carrot, freeze our character, pass a turn, restand Pedro. Boom, bam, bop, we are good, we don't stop. Carrot can freeze the Sanji Pudding even with the added 2 Dawn, so that does put us in a really good spot, but something they really need to remove off the board. We won't be able to rest down the Sanji Pudding, which does suck. They could actually tap 5 to play out another Sanji Pudding if they had another one in hand, but based off of them searching it up with the Zoro and not playing it on curve, they probably don't. Now they could, because they have drawn a couple cards from life and a couple cards to their hand from their deck, so I'm really unsure at this point. I may go ahead and block out and just pop the Zoro, but also that would take away our Carrot effect on the Zoro, and we could easily find another Carrot. So let's take. I'm not scared of nothing. Let me tell you, I am not scared of a thing. Now, what do we do? What do we do, guys? We have a Tizzy. Hey, like and comment for Tizzy. You know how we are. Hey, buddy. Sit in the lap and be a good little boy. Sit in my lap and be a good little boy. We're going to rest down Frankie. We're going to take that Frankie's life. Trust me, we're going to take that Frankie's freaking life, man. We could even Hody Jones at this point, just because we're safe to. and then rest down Sanji Pudding and a Dawn. Go ahead and get that out of the way. We're gonna restand a Dawn. We're gonna go 6 into face, freeze down the Sanji Pudding. We're gonna really put the aggression on face here because this is gonna force cards out of hand. We're then gonna go 6 with Pedro because again, I don't care. I don't need the blocker, or I can save the blocker. We're going to rest down their Frankie just because we can. We're gonna go 6 more into face. We're gonna be forcing a lot of cards out of hand here, guys. That's kind of the goal with this deck. Don't forget it. That's what the goal is with the deck. And now we're like, we could go for life. That forces them in a position where they need to be safe to not die next turn. But we don't have another Hody Jones. Oh, we do have another Hody Jones. We're going face. We're going nothing but face here. Face is the place. Ain't no disgrace. Okay, and now that just shows us, hey, if we play a Hody Jones here, we're safe. So have the Pedro. Pedro can pop a 6 cost or lower that's rested, so we can pop the Sanji Pudding if they don't use the Going Merry stage properly, or we can just block out of something and pop one of their other characters that they play out. So we could pop like the Zoro Juro, we could rest a Dawn down. We can kind of do what we need to here, and I think we're in a really safe spot here against this kind of leader. So we'll block out, resolve the attack, KO rested character, KO Sanji Pudding, just to get it off the board. So if they do choose to use the leader effect, they have to play out a Sanji Pudding first. And it was really it was really wrong of them just how they did it. We'll give them a 1k counter Wanda here because we don't think we need to be searching the top of the deck anymore. We could go 8-drop Useless Captain Kid. They do have a bunch of cards in hand, but seeing how they took that last life, I think we're pretty safe here. I think they're trying to go for game. They play Electrical Luna. Ooh, I see what you did there. Really good stuff by our opponent, so maybe we do need to wall up with the Useless Captain Kid and go more for control of the board at the moment because that's a very, very good card. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a very, very good card. 8-drop Kid will be able to play to Rosinante. We'll be able to play Rosinante out on the board. We'll be on 10 Dons, so we could technically do kind of whatever we want. And we can just take this, because we are going to be playing... Oh, they could go 6. They could swing in for 7. Yeah, we'll just take... I'm not scared. I am not scared of anything here. If I'm putting them in the position to play down a 10-drop... 6-drop Luffy or whatever, that would be fine with me. Now they go Zoro Juro, they look at the top 5 cards of the deck, they grab a Sanji, which is a 2k counter, so we know maybe it's not the best idea to go for the game. And yeah, so instead we're just going to play down, you give me my Samurai, rest down these 2 characters, draw cards, reactivate 1 Dawn. Now we could go 10-drop Dofi here, but can we survive a 16k? It's not guaranteed, so what we're going to do instead is play down Useless Captain Kid, put 1 Dawn on Useless Captain Kid. We're going to swing 6 at our opponent first, actually, and then play down Useless Captain Kid, as we should have. And then we're going to play down Rosinante. We have a ton of counter in hand, so rest this down, play out Rosinante over top of Carrot. We're going to pass the turn, restand the Carrot, and we're good. Hey, what do you have for me now? We're sitting on a bunch of 1Ks here, so yeah, no, maybe we don't have 2Ks, but our opponent has Gum Gum Giants, and that doesn't do too much. Now, if we would have gone for game with Hody Jones, we would have probably lost, because that would be 7, and then 4 Dawn, so we would have swung 12, 2, 4... Oh, we wouldn't have lost, actually. We would have won the game right there if we did go for a game. But we did the safest play, which was the smart play. Our opponent doesn't really have anything right now to go into Eustace Captain Kid. They would just have to split Dawn. And with the amount of counter, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a blocker. We were very safe, and we could put down a blocker next turn or go 10-drop Doflamingo to stop everything they were doing. Or we could play down, Hody Jones, rest both their Dawn, swing in for whatever we need to, and still have the Useless Captain Kid, and freeze down one of their characters. We were genuinely just safe. We do beat the meta here with green carrot. Green carrot. So I'm really happy with that performance, actually. I'm kind of surprised because this deck is very, very off meta, and I'm surprised it actually is doing so well so far. I've been looking for a tough matchup, and I think this is going to be one of them right here with Red Purple Luffy playing just really big bodies over and over. Now, we don't know how the current meta plays for this deck list. We're going to look in that hand because we didn't have enough options that were actually Minx Pirate type. Not Minx Pirates. They're not pirates. They're people, just like us. We're going to take the 6 very aggressively. We get a Tashigi. Tashigi's not going to be too great in this situation. We actually don't even have a way to really... we could tap down to... Rest down their character... Yeah, let's just go all out. Might as well. Just stop them from ramping a little bit, get rid of the Zoro Juro, get the Milky on the board for later so we can restand Dawn. We're going to be going to 5 Dawn in this next turn. No, 6 Dawn in this next turn. We're going to take this. We're going to be very aggressive in taking this. And they're going to play down a Luffy, which is going to swing in for 7. And we're going to take that as well because I ain't no baby. So, tap 1 here. We're going to find Zoe. We're going to place Doflamingo towards the top. This is both of our Pedros, 2 of our Inarashis. We're not really going to need Inarashi in this matchup. And then we're going to play out Zoe. And then Zoe is going to replace that Dawn we just put down. And then we're going to play down, draw 2. We still don't draw what we're looking for. We're going to swing in for 6 at our opponent. And then play down Pedro. I don't mind that. We'll go 6 into Luffy. They should give us 1 card out of hand here. which is really good for us. We still have 4 Dawn to play Don Pedro here, and pass. We're going to restand this Milky so we can continue to get 1 extra Dawn with the 1 extra Dawn from Zoe, and restanding our characters. They're going to play Nami, look at the top 5 cards of their deck for Straw Hat Crew, grabbing the purple Luffy. That's going to be a 6-drop here with Rush, so they could actually just rush in on us. Now they're going to swing 6 at us. We're going to have to counter out of this with a 2K. They can go 7 at us, and then we're going to give them... Now we could block and rest a Dawn, so it forces them into a 5. We're going to try that. Let's rest one of their Dawns so they can't rush in, because I think they were trying to rush in with that 6-drop Luffy. Now, this is just playing off what I'm thinking, because they could just play on another 5-cost Luffy and swing for 7. But maybe they don't. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. See? Look at that. Boom, bam, bop. We're feeling good. We don't stop. So we could go Kid now. Kid's definitely not a horrible option in this situation. We tap 8, restand 2 Dawn, and then put 1 on Kid, swinging for 6 at the Luffy. Or we just go Hody Jones, but they have a ton of active Dawn. Obviously, they could have Gum Gum Giant. Now, they don't want a Gum Gum Giant at this point, so maybe I don't care about Gum Gum Giant. 7, restand 2. We can still play it on a blocker, but that purple Luffy would be miserable. I think we have to go Kid. Restand 1 Dawn. Restand 1 Dawn. We're going to swing 6 into the Luffy, just to get another card out of hand, honestly. I mean, at this point, either we get it or we don't. We don't get it, which is okay. We're going to rest down the Kid. We're going to play out the Rosinante and pass and restand the Milky. So I think Kid is the best option here. Now, it would have told me to take the life a little more aggressively if I knew I was going to go play Kid, but I still think we did the smart play. I mean, it wasn't the smartest play because we weren't thinking about our setup for the future turns, and I think taking would have been a lot more better for setup later on. It is what it is. I think getting a draw 1 trash with this Barto next turn would be very nice, just because we're stuck with the Zoe in hand, so finding some other option would be really good. They go for the 6-cost Luffy. They can put 2 Dawn on the Luffy and swing 9 and 9. We can counter out of both of these, or we can counter 1, block 1, and call it a day. But they could go, they don't have a way to power minus, and they would have to take a life if they do that. We're here just to clear the board. I don't know what you guys are here for. That's what I'm here for. So they're going to go 8 and give them a 1K counter. And then they're going to go 8, return 2 active Dawn. Oh, that's cool with me. Give them a 2K counter. It's the same math as going, all out with 1 character. We'll give them a blocker here, and we should be very safe in this situation, in my personal opinion. Because what we're going to do is play out the Barto, restand a Dawn, restand another Dawn. Now that we did that with the Barto, we get to draw 1 trash 1. I wish we had 10 Dawn total. That would be very good right now. But they don't have any active Dawn for themselves. So we can put 1 on Kid and swing 9 into Luffy. We're looking for the removal here. If not, we're just going to get a lot of cards out of hand. We do actually get the removal here. And then we could go Hody Jones. Could go Wanda. If we go Hody Jones, we'll go 6. Yeah. Boom. 6 into the Luffy. And then we're going to go 8 into the Luffy, adding another card to our hand. Now, we don't have a ton of counter, but our opponent does not know that. We're going to rest down the character and then swing in for 8. And we get to remove the body off the board. We can't remove the Nami, which is fine, though. We get to restand the Milky again. And we're sitting on a solid 3K counter. So we have a blocker, we have 3K counter, and we have a lot more options. So we're doing very well so far. I think we're doing very well so far. The Uso Hachi. Now, what do you do after Uso Hachi? Because, I mean, if you can go 11, yeah. Sure, you can have that. All right. Fun fact. We're going to rest this down. We're going to rest this down, play out, get another Dawn. We're going to draw 1 and trash 1. We're going to trash 1 of the Hody Jones. He's not going to, I mean, that would kind of tell you we have another Hody Jones here. We're going to swing in for 6 at our opponent. I don't think I'm worried about the Uso Hachi or the Nami, like resting them down. We want to be a little more aggressive in this matchup, in my personal opinion. We could have actually gone even more at our opponent. I didn't think about the fact that we get to rest this down and play out the Rosinante. So we could have gone a little extra. We could have gone 10 right there. So keep that in mind as we continue this game, because we definitely should have. It would have gotten 1 more card out of hand. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to rest this down, play out Rosinante, and yeah, just pass. I think at that point, restand the Milky again, getting those extra Dawn. We still have 3K counter in hand. We have 2 blockers on the board now. They play a 9-cost Luffy. They Dawn -1. They draw a card. Really good stuff right there. Doesn't really bother us too much. They can go 8 and 10. 10 we can just block out of with the Barto. It's probably better, but Barto's been drawing us and trashing us card to filter our hand. I think we'll just block out with the Barto. It just makes more sense. Just makes more sense. Now what we'll do is, boom, rest down both of these. Now, restand a Dawn, restand a Dawn, rest down Uso Hachi just because we can. We're going to swing in for a bunch of 8s at our opponent. So we're going to go 8, 8, 8, 10. At this point, I think that's the best option. We don't have another blocker to play down, and we don't have like a Pedro we want to really search for and possibly get Pedro rather than knowing we already have at least one blocker, and we do have 6k counter. So we're gonna be a hard matchup. Well, that was our video for Carrot right there. As always, if you hated this video, please leave a comment. If you love the video, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, join the One Piece family down below. I really enjoyed this deck list. I mean, we really did go undefeated today, and I did not expect this when putting this list together. So this is something I'm definitely going to toy with more in the future, and if you want to see that, please join the One Piece family by giving me a subscription down below. It's completely free. Or come see me in Orlando Collecticon, which is probably today, which I think today's probably Sunday for you guys. Maybe it's Saturday today. I don't really know my days and when I'm putting these videos out just yet. But if you did come see me in Orlando, thanks for coming out. If it's already past Orlando. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next video and the next deck profile.